President Obama is stepping up the pressure on Egypt after massive anti-government protests there today. Protesters are demanding that Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak step down from his 30-year rule. Today he announced he is dismissing his cabinet and forming a new one to accelerate reforms. President Obama phoned Mubarak today and urged him to take concrete steps to expand the people's rights and to refrain from violence against protesters.
We'll continue to stand up for the rights of the Egyptian people and work with their government in pursuit of a future that is more just, more free, and more hopeful.
As evening fell, many protesters stopped to pray, but the demonstrations erupted again soon after. ABC's Alama Hassan was interrupted on camera by people desperate to tell their stories.
People have been out on the streets in their thousands protesting, and just over there we can see plumes of smoke.
The Delta, the only U.S. air carrier that flies directly to Egypt, has canceled at least 2 of its flights between Cairo and New York. Here at home, Egyptian nationals, many with families in Egypt, are praying for a peaceful end to the violence halfway around the world. ABC 7's Lillian Kim is here with their story.
Carolyn, with many of the communication lines cut off, many Egyptian Americans are having a hard time coping with what's going on in their homeland. So tonight, they got together and found strength in prayer. What was supposed to be a regular Friday night meeting turned into a special prayer service. Most of the members of the St. Antonius Coptic Orthodox Church in Hayward have friends and family in Egypt, and tonight they prayed for their safety.
It's really scary. I feel like we're watching history in the making. It's a revolution, and I hope that the end result is something that's great, but I think nobody knows what's going to come of it.
Since the violent demonstrations broke out, many in the Bay Area haven't been able to get through to their friends and family. The Egyptian government have restricted internet and cell phone service. Even those who can get through are choosing not to, for fear the lines may be tapped or traced, which means for most, all they've been able to do is watch the turmoil unfold on television. And for members of this church, opinions are strong over how the protests have been carried out so far.
To make fires and to destroy the shops and restaurants and banks, and no, I'm not with this style.
All of this puts the U.S. government in a tough spot. While it can't ignore the overwhelming call for a new regime, Egypt is a major U.S. ally. Stanford professor Joel Brinkley is a former foreign correspondent for the New York Times.
The United States has needed Egypt for intelligence, for terrorism assistance, for help with the Israel-Palestine issue, and for a variety of other things.
It's a complicated situation, one these Egyptian Americans can only hope will end peacefully.
Hopefully a change to the better. More democracy, maybe more justice. That's what I hope for.
There will be a show of support for the protesters in Egypt. A rally is scheduled for noon tomorrow at the corner of Market and Montgomery in San Francisco. Carolyn.
All right, Lillian. Lillian Kim reporting. Anger against the United States is building in Cairo. Take a look. These protesters say the weapons used by the Egyptian forces came from this country. And this photo shows a tear gas canister that is clearly stamped, made in USA. Tonight, Nightline has extended coverage of the situation that's unfolding tonight in Egypt, including an interview with a key member of the Obama administration who will not be there to advise the U.S. response. That's next on Nightline, right after this newscast at 11:35.